Hi there, I'm Gill. I'm here at home on Koh Samui, and I'm going to be guiding you today through a 60-minute practice so you can bring a bit of our Samahita magic wherever you find yourself today. I'm going to start by coming to sit in Vajrasana, either sitting back on your heels. If that feels a little uncomfortable, grabbing a block or maybe even some books and creating a little shelf for yourself so you can raise those hips up a little higher. I'm going to start by coming to find a nice, comfortable seat here. So drop down through your sit bones and feeling a sense of lengthening up through the spine. Hands gently resting on the thighs or the knees. And just closing your eyes here for a moment. Allowing yourself to drop in. Tuning in, feeling the sensation of the breeze, the air on your skin, maybe cool, maybe warm. And noticing the soft sounds and sensations around you. And just taking a moment to drop into the space where you are. Allowing your awareness to shift to your internal space. And taking your left hand to your heart, right hand resting at your navel. And just allowing yourself to tune in to the soft, gentle wave of your breath. Finding yourself arriving here in your space. Eyes softly closed. Feeling that internal gaze and focus. We're gently going to open our practice together with one Om. Take a nice inhale. Feeling that soft, centering vibration through your body. And then gently opening your eyes. If you have that block beneath you, just removing the block or books out of the way. And bring your toes to touch and your knees a little wider. And bring the fingertips down, and we're just going to walk forwards into Balasana, into Child's Pose. So feeling a nice lengthening here all the way through the spine. And staying on your fingertips so the palms are raised. The hips might be high or sinking back towards your heels, feeling a nice lengthening through the sides of your body. And staying on those fingertips, raising the body up a little, we're going to walk the fingers over to the right side of your mat. So I'll mirror you here. And taking that left hand over the right hand, sinking back through both hips. So we feel this lovely lengthening down through the left side of your body. Once again, you can shift your weight a little from side to side, feeling that lengthen spreading through both sides of the body, but especially through that left side. At the end of next exhale, coming up onto those fingertips, we walk back to the center. Pausing here in that central Balasana just for a moment. And then walking your fingertips over to the left side of your mat. If it feels good, taking that right hand over the left, sinking back through both sit bones, feeling this lovely lengthy space here through both sides of the body. Nice lengthening from crown of head all the way down through your spine. Then walking the fingertips back to the center, coming back into this central Balasana. Nice space, length from the crown of the head all the way down through the spine. So making sure you're not cranking the neck here. Feeling this lovely lengthy space through the body. And taking a good exhale, placing the hands down flat on the mat. We inhale, come up. And we're going to come onto all fours. So bringing your shoulders over the wrists, and bringing your hips over the knees, and having your feet around hip distance apart. And pressing down through the outer edge here of the legs. So we press down through the tops of the feet, through the shins, through the knees, spreading here through your fingertips, so rooted through the ball of index finger all the way to the thumb. And all the way out through those fingertips, palms resting nicely on the earth here. Soft gaze down between the hands. Taking a good exhale. As you exhale, we round through the back, coming into cat. Crown of head comes towards the earth. Inhale, coming into cow, gazing up. Exhale, navel to spine. We round through the back, feeling this undulation here through the spine. Inhaling, coming into cow, gazing up. Moving with that rhythm of your breath. Exhale, navel to spine, rounding through the back. And inhale, coming into cow. Then coming to find a nice neutral position, we're going to curl our toes underneath. And then stepping your right foot back. So those toes curled under, and just finding a little bounce here. So feeling this lovely sense of switching on through the back of that right leg. I'm going to move myself a little forwards, so feeling this grounding here of the ball of that right toe down into the mat. Take a good exhale here. Feel that sense of connection pressing into your hands, so nice and strong through the shoulders. And then as you inhale, bringing your left knee to your chin, chin to knee. Exhale, bringing that left knee back down to the earth. Inhale, extending up and back through the ball of that right toe. Exhale, bringing the right foot down, rooting, grounding, pressing into the earth. Inhale, left knee to chin, chin to knee. And then exhale, bringing that knee back down to the earth. Inhale, extending up and back through the right toe. And exhale, bringing that right foot down. One more time. Inhale, drawing up through that left knee, drawing it to the chin, chin to knee. We hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing that left knee down to the earth. And then bending your right knee. And inhale, coming into cow, gazing up. And exhale, navel to spine, rounding through the back, we come into cat. Inhale, finding a nice neutral spine, we extend that left leg back, the left toes curled underneath, strong through your lower belly. So we find that slight posterior tilt here, connected through the lower abdomen, and just a little bounce here. Bouncing, feeling the ball of those left toes switching on. And taking a good exhale, grounding down through the ball of those left toes, pressing into the hands as you inhale, right knee to chin, chin to knee. Feel that support through the shoulders. Exhale, right knee back down to the earth. Inhale, extending up and back through the ball of those left toes. And exhale, bring the left toes back down to the earth. Inhale, right knee to chin, chin to knee. So we just start to warm up, switch things on, bringing that right knee down to the earth. Inhale, extending up and back through the ball of those left toes. Exhale, left foot down to the ground. Inhale, extending, drawing that right knee to the chin, chin to knee. We hold here for 5, 4. Feel that support through the shoulders. 3, 2, and 1. Bringing right knee down to the earth. And bending that left knee, toes curled underneath. Inhale, come into cow, gazing up. And exhale, navel to spine, we round through the back. Inhaling into cow, once again feeling this lovely movement all the way through the spine. Exhale, we come into cat, this time finding that support in cat and just raising the knees a few millimeters off the ground. We hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees down. Inhale, coming into cow, gazing up. And exhale once again, navel to spine, rounding through the back. We come into cat, lift those knees up, shift the hips up, and then we come back into a nice happy dog. So walking your dog, bending one knee, then the other. Feel that openness through the backs of the legs and through the sides of the legs. Really feeling this softening here through the hips, through the lower back. We're going to inhale, raise the heels up. Exhale, press those hips back. So feeling a nice sense of springiness here all the way through the spine. And raise those heels up nice and high, and then walking the toes towards the wrists. Eventually bringing those toes behind the wrists. And inhale, lift the heart and lengthen. And exhale, folding to your deepest point. Now in this deepest point, we allow ourselves to hang here, taking your hands to inner elbows or interlacing the fingers behind the back of the head. Maybe using your thumbs to just massage down through the sides of the cervical spine to the occipital region here at the base of the skull. So the head draws nice and long, feeling free here through the shoulders. Gentle rock from side to side. Bring your fingertips down to the earth. And we soften through the knees, ground through the feet, and then slowly rolling yourself all the way up. And the last thing that comes up is your head. And coming to the front of your mat, we come into Samastitihi. Now for you, that might mean feet together, or maybe feet hip distance apart. Find what feels good for you. And grounding down through the feet, we feel the sensation of our lower belly, Uddiyana zone, drawing back to the spine, that heaviness through your tailbone. So feeling a grounding, a support here through the lower abdomen, below the navel. And then freedom here through the upper abdomen. Heart is free. And bringing the hands beside you. And just for a moment we pause here. Pausing here, finding the sense of stability, support here in Samastitihi. As we feel the sthira, the steadiness through our lower belly, matched with this beautiful freedom and space through the upper abdomen. And close the eyes here for a moment, just allowing yourself to feel this dance of your breath. The inhale creating that openness and space. Keep in that space as you exhale, feeling a sense of connection and support. These two parts of the breath moving and dancing together. And then end of your next exhale, feel that grounding, that connection. Hands lift, and as you inhale, reach the arms up, and gazing up between the palms or to thumbs of fingers touch. And exhale, softly bring in the hands back to the sides. We come back to Samastitihi. And end of exhale, grounding down through the feet. Hands lift as you inhale, reach the arms up, gazing up. And exhale softly, we bring the hands back to the sides. We come back to Samastitihi. As we move, I'm going to give many options, finding what feels good for you. And bearing in mind that each day this might feel different. So taking a good exhale, end of that exhale, hands lift. As you inhale, reach the arms up, we gaze up. And then as you exhale, softening your knees, tilt from your hips, heart stays lifted as you fold forwards, hands on knees, shins, or the earth, and power straighten through the legs when you get there. Fingers forwards or hands on knees or shins as you lift the heart and lengthen. And then exhale, folding to your deepest point. Knees soften, ground through the feet. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. We gaze up. And then exhale, coming back to Samastitihi. At the end of that exhale, hands lift as you inhale, reach the arms up, gazing up. As you exhale, knees soften. We tilt from the hips, folding forwards, hands on knees, shins, or the earth. Legs power when you're there. And fingers forwards or hands on knees or shins as you lift the heart and lengthen. And this time, bringing the hands down flat. You're going to step back first with your right foot, then with left, pressing back into froggy. Inhaling like a wave, coming forwards into a nice high plank here. We pause in this plank, feeling that connection, support through the lower belly, that support through your shoulders. Holding for 4, 3, feeling length all the way through the spine. 2, and 1. Now for this first one, bring your knees down. We bend the elbows, heart comes through the hands, lowering all the way to the earth. Bracing down and back through the tops of the feet. Down and back through hands. Inhale, roll shoulder blades down the back, peeling the heart up, coming into Bhujangasana, Cobra. And then exhale, softly bringing the chin back down to the earth. Good, so one more time, we're going to ground down through the hands. Inhale, rolling shoulder blades down the back, peeling the heart up. And exhale, as you soften, press down into those hands, coming onto all fours. We curl our toes underneath. And then raising the hips up and back, we come into that nice happy dog. So bending your knees, one knee then the other, feeling that nice openness here through the backs of the legs, sides of the legs. And then when you're ready, rooting through the ball of big toe, inner heels draw apart, we power our dog. Your knees can stay bent, heels can stay up, feeling this nice straight line from the wrists up and out through the sit bones. And your gaze between the thighs, so you don't want to be gazing up, cranking the neck. Instead, feel that lovely, lengthy space here through the back of the neck. Yeah, take another breath here, feeling this lovely lengthening. And then as you inhale, bringing those heels up nice and high. Exhale, press the hips back, feeling that springiness here through the legs. End of that exhale, stepping first one foot, then the other up to the hands. Inhale, heart lifts as you lengthen. And exhale, folding to your deepest point. Knees soften, tilting from the hips as you inhale, reach the arms all the way up, gazing up. And exhale, we come back to Samasthiti. Good. End of your next exhale, hands lift as you inhale, reach the arms up, gazing up. And as you exhale, knees soften, let's fold forwards, bringing hands to knees, shins, or the earth, legs power, straighten when you're there. And fingers forwards or hands on knees or shins as you lift the heart and lengthen. And as you exhale, bring your hands down flat, this time either stepping or springing back into froggy. Inhale, we come forwards into a nice high plank, using your knees or not, coming into a push-up. And then from that up push-up position, drop the hips, point back through the toes, heart through the hands, coming into upward facing dog. If you'd like, drawing back through those toes, knees might lift. Soft gaze down the nose. And then using your knees or draw that lower belly back as you come back, piking back into a nice happy dog. Once again, bending one knee then the other, feeling this openness through the backs of the legs, through the sides of the legs, rooting down through ball of big toe, inner heels draw apart, feeling this nice lengthy space here through the sides of the body. I'm going to pause here, taking a few breaths, feeling this dynamic movement of the breath through the body. Inhale, creating this spaciousness through upper abdomen, through the heart. Exhale, feeling that lovely connection, drawing back through the lower belly. Next inhale, bringing your heels up nice and high. Exhale, press those hips back, feeling springy, either stepping or lightly floating the feet to the hands. We inhale, lift the heart and lengthen. And then exhale, folding to your deepest point. Knees soften, ground through the feet as you inhale, reach the arms all the way up, gazing up. And exhale, we flow our way back to Samasthiti. Good, feeling that grounding through the feet, this connection through your lower belly. We're going to root those feet deep down into the earth. Next exhale, sinking those hips back. Inhale, reaching up through this inner line of the arms, coming to find Utkatasana. Feeling this power here through the legs. Taking another breath, grounding, feeling connected through your exhale as you inhale. Feel this lovely, spacious sensation through your upper body. And then exhale, folding to your deepest point, hands on knees, shins, or the earth, legs power when you're there. And fingers forwards or hands on knees or shins as you lift the heart and lengthen. And then as you exhale, hands flat, either stepping or floating your feet back into froggy. Inhaling like a wave, we come into that high plank. Knees or not, coming into a push-up or down to the earth. And then inhaling into cobra or up dog, heart lifts. And exhale back into downward facing dog. Taking an extra inhale. And then as you exhale, we pivot our left foot, stepping your right foot forward between the hands, strong through both feet, inhaling, coming up. And then as you exhale, tracking that right knee over the ankle, reaching up through this inner line of the arms, feeling that strength through your base, this spacious sensation here through the upper abdomen. You can stay where you are. If you'd like a little reset, inhale, straighten that right leg. And then exhale, tracking that right knee over the ankle, reaching up. Once again, through this inner line of the arms, strong through that back leg. And exhale, bringing the hands to frame that front foot and stepping back into froggy. Inhaling, coming forwards into a nice high plank, using knees or not, push up or down to the earth. Inhaling into cobra or up dog, heart lifts. And then exhaling back into downward facing dog. Taking an extra inhale here. And then as you exhale, we're going to pivot that right foot, step the left foot forward between the hands, strong through both feet. Inhaling, coming up, we straighten that left leg. And then as you exhale, tracking that left knee over the ankle, drawing back through the back of that right foot, reaching up through this inner line of your arms. Feeling that grounding through the lower part of the body, this freedom and space through the upper abdomen. Maybe inhale, straightening that front leg. Exhale, tracking that left knee over the ankle as you reach up through this inner line of the arms. Draw back through the back of that back foot. Nice inhale. And then as you exhale, bring the hands to frame your front foot, stepping back into froggy. Inhaling, coming forwards into a nice high plank, using knees or not, coming to push up or down to the earth. Inhaling into upward facing dog. And then exhaling, coming back into that downward facing dog. I'm going to do this facing forward, so remembering to find that rooting here through the ball of index finger and thumb. Nice and free through the shoulders, through the neck. Supported here through the shoulder blades. Heels can be up, rooting through that ball of big toe, inner heels drawing apart. Legs, arms, switch down, that support, especially through the end of the exhale, through the lower belly. Now with your next inhale, bring those heels up nice and high. As we exhale, press the hips back. And then either stepping or floating the feet to the hands. Inhale, heart lifts as we lengthen. And then exhale, folding to your deepest point. Knees bend nice and deeply. Inhale, reaching up through this inner line of your arms. On the exhale, we come back to Samastitihi. Pausing here for a moment in Samastitihi, we feel that grounding through the feet, a beautiful lengthening up through the spine. You can bring the hands to prayer here at the heart, fingertips base of palms lightly touching. Just tuning in, noticing sensations through the center of your body. Our practice today, really feeling the grounding and support, especially through navel and below. That grounding support of our body to the earth. At the same time, this balance between that freedom and space that we find in that space above the navel. Good. Nice. Bringing your hands to your hips. You can either step or float your feet hip distance apart. Ground down through your feet. Inhale, lift the heart, lengthen through the sides of your body here. And then as you exhale, we're going to fold forwards, tilting here from the hips. Folding forwards, release the hands and take hold of your big toes with your peace fingers, thumb on top of big toe. Inhale, lift the heart and lengthen. And then as you exhale, draw the elbows away as you bring the crown of the head down towards the earth. Now as you inhale, you may soften through the knees. As you exhale, root through those feet and power up through the legs. Feeling that nice freedom, space, length through the back of the neck, through the shoulders. As you inhale, knees might soften. Exhale, rooting down through the feet, powering through the legs. Hopefully feeling this connection here of your lower belly to the thighs. And to find that connection, you might need to keep those knees bent a lot. And that's absolutely fine. But noticing how with each inhale, there's freedom and space encouraged through that space above the navel. As you exhale, we feel that grounding and support. Good. With your next inhale, raising the head, lifting the heart. Exhale here. We're going to take our hands and bring the palms of your hands underneath the feet, so spreading through the fingers. Padahastasana. We ground down through the feet, so pressing the soles of the feet into the hands, hands into the feet. Hands are trying to escape, but they can't because your feet are holding them in place. So we root down through those feet, feeling still that spreading through the shoulders as we allow the crown of the head come down to the ground. Now remember, you might be here with your knees bent a lot. As you power your legs, the knees might still stay bent, but feeling this action of the soles of feet pressing into hands, hands into feet, feeling that lovely spreading in space here through the shoulders. Soft gaze down the nose, or maybe even closing the eyes, finding an internal gaze and focus here. Good. Then with your next inhale, let's raise the head, lift the heart. Exhale, bringing the hands down flat onto the mat. We're going to step back with right foot, then left, pressing back into froggy, knees bend. Inhaling, coming forwards like a wave into a nice high plank. You're going to use your knees or not, and then lower yourself all the way down to the earth. Bringing the chin to the ground, bring the big toes to touch, pointing the toes to the back of the mat. And hands beside you with your palms facing up. Taking a good exhale here. And then as you inhale, lifting your toes, lifting the heart, coming into Shalavasana, into locust. We're going to hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing the chin to the ground, feet to the earth, hands beside your side ribs. Inhale, coming up onto all fours. Curl your toes underneath. And then once again, we raise those hips up and back into that nice happy dog. Once again, just walking, bending one knee, then the other. Feel that space through the backs of the legs, sides of legs. And we're going to pivot our left foot. We're going to step that right foot between the hands. Now, you might have a block or books handy. Bring those to the outside of that right foot. Inhaling, coming up. And we open immediately into Warrior Two. So we reach forward and back through fingertips. Those back toes turned in a little. Inhale, straightening through this right leg, reaching your right arm overhead, feeling length through both sides of the body. Heart lifts, stays open and free. And then as you exhale, softening your right knee, reaching forward, bringing those right fingertips to your knee, shin, to the block or the earth. And then we power through that right leg. So we send that right femur into the hip socket, opening here through the heart. So we feel that space here through the heart, left fingertips reaching up to the sky. Now as you inhale, maybe softening through that right knee. Exhale, power through that right leg, keeping that lengthy space here through both sides of the body, and gazing up at those left fingertips. And your bottom hand is not dumped down, instead feeling that soft connection and then this lengthy space that allows the heart to stay lifted and free. Good. 2 more rounds of the breath here, rooted through the feet. Feel that lovely lengthening through both sides of the body. Beautiful. Then gazing down at your right foot. We're going to take our block out at a 45-degree angle. You can have fingertips onto the ground as well. Bringing your weight into that right foot. And we're going to come into Ardha Chandrasana. So we lift that left hip up towards the sky, extending back through the ball of those left toes. And once again, that left hand can come up towards the sky. Soft gaze down to the earth. Or maybe gazing just in front of you, possibly gazing up towards the sky. So find what creates the sense of balance for you. Beautiful. Now soften that right knee. We're going to bring the left foot back. And keeping our block handy here, we're going to inhale and come up. And then face towards the front of your mat. You're going to reach the arms out to the side. Now a couple of options here with your arms. You can bring the fists behind you. So pressing your fists in towards each other, creating the space through the shoulders. For some of you, it might actually feel nice to bring the hands into prayer behind you or taking your opposite elbows. I'm going to bring fists behind, so find what feels good for you here. Heart's lifted. Nice inhale. And then as you exhale, soften that front knee. Exhale, folding forwards as you lengthen through the sides of the body. You'll notice I'm not gazing up, but gaze down towards those right toes. Feeling this nice spacious sensation. Feeling as if your hips are being drawn back as you lengthen forwards here through the heart. through the crown of the head. Good, rooted through those feet, feeling that stability and support beneath you. And then as you exhale, soften that right knee. We're going to inhale, come up. And taking the right thumb inside your right hip crease here. We inhale, reach up. You might like to widen the stance between your heels a little to create stability and space. Inhale, reaching up through that left arm. As you exhale, right knee softens, and then draw back through that right hip as you extend forwards through the left hand, bringing that hand inside or outside that right foot. Now you can take your right hand to the sacrum, inhale, lengthening, turning your heart towards the right side of the room. Maybe right hand comes to shoulder, and maybe right fingertips up to the sky. Good, as you inhale, front knee softens, exhale, powering through that leg, really finding where this feels good for you. Maybe adjusting the feet a little if you need to, creating a bit of a wider stance here through the feet, but feeling that lovely lengthening through your side body. Good, nice smooth breath, connected, supported. Beautiful. As you exhale, gaze down at that right foot, hands framing the front foot. We step that right foot back into froggy. Inhaling like a plank, we come forwards into that high plank, like a wave into that high plank, feeling that grounding and support. Bringing your knees down or not, coming into push-up or down to the earth. Inhaling, coming into cobra or up dog, heart lifts. And then exhale, we come back into downward facing dog. Nice happy dog here again. Walking that dog, bending one knee then the other, feeling that nice space here through the hips. And then as you exhale, you're going to pivot that right foot, step the left foot forward between the hands. Strong through both feet, inhaling, coming up, we open immediately into warrior two, softening that left knee to start. Inhale, powering through the left leg, we bring our left arm overhead, feel that lengthy space here through both sides of the body. And then as you exhale, softening your left knee, reach those left fingertips forwards to knee, shin to the block or books or the earth. Now remember that soft resting through those left fingertips, and then we open up through the right side of the body, right hand to the shoulder, bend, power through that left leg, right fingertips up to the sky, feeling this lovely space here through the side body, that strength and connection of the soles of the feet to the earth. So whenever you feel tight, stuck, unstable, find softness. Often when we start to feel tightness, we resist more. Can you allow yourself to find the grounding in your body, soften that front knee, and then power through the legs? We feel our support, our connection coming from our Uddiyana zone, from the center of the body, as we find that lovely sense of space. You're going to gaze down at your left foot. You're going to take the block out at a 45-degree angle or fingertips onto the earth. Soften that front knee, and then coming forwards. Hopefully you don't have a plant in the way like I do, but finding good this Ardha Chandrasana. We bend and power through that left leg as we send the ball of that right toe back. Once again, we open through the right side of the body here, right hip up to the sky, right fingertips up, or keeping that hand on the hip if that provides more stability and support for you. Remember, grounded, connected, stable here. Maybe gazing to the side, maybe gazing up to the sky. And then softening that left knee, we're going to bring the left foot back. Good, coming to face towards the front of your mat. And you're going to bring the hands, either fists behind you, hands in prayer position, or taking the shoulders, the elbows as we did last time. Turning to face the front of the mat. Make sure those heels are not crossed over, so we have space here. Take a nice inhale. And then we soften that left knee. We fold forward into Parsvottanasana, bringing the hips back as we reach forwards here through the crown of the head. Feeling this lovely lengthy space here through the sides of the body. As you inhale, maybe that left knee softens. As you exhale, power, lengthening through the side body. For some of you, your chin might come towards the shin. Maybe you soften and close the eyes here. Making sure you keep this connection, the grounding support through the feet, through the legs, as you find stability and freedom in this pose. Good. End of next exhale, soften that knee. And then as you inhale, we come up. And taking that little hook of your left thumb to your inner left hip here, hip crease. We inhale, reach up through the right hand. As you exhale, soften that left knee, reach those right fingertips forwards, and then drawing back through that left hip. So we don't want to be uneven here. We draw back through that left hip as we lengthen and extend forwards. Maybe those fingertips are inside, maybe inside on a block, and your left hand in your sacrum, or for some of you, turning to the left side of the room, pressing down through that hand on floor or block, keeping the hand on sacrum, or bringing that left hand to the shoulder, maybe left fingertips up to the sky. But as always, making sure you're not compromising here through the feet. So using your breath here as you inhale, feel that connection and grounding. As you exhale, really feeling yourself moving into that lovely space that you're creating. So the inhale, feeling this freedom and openness here through the chest, through the heart. Exhale, feeling that lovely sense of support. Good. Now gaze down at that left big toe, hands framing your front foot. We step that left foot back into froggy. Inhaling like a wave, let's come forwards into a nice high plank. Using knees or not, you're going to lower yourself all the way to the earth. Bringing your big toes to touch, right hand out in front. And bringing your left hand either beside you or bringing that left palm or fist onto your sacrum. Sacrum, this triangular bone here at the base of my spine. I create a sense of length and space here. Taking a good exhale. And then as you inhale, lifting left foot and right hand, reaching forward through those right fingertips. Reaching back through that left ball or big toe. We hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing chin to the ground, foot to the ground. We swim, switch, bringing our right hand beside us, or right fist or palm on the sacrum, creating that length and space, taking a good exhale. And then as you inhale, lifting up through right foot and left hand. Feeling that lengthy space from those left fingertips out through those right toes. We hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly coming to the earth, making a nice cactus shape here with the arms resting one cheek on your mat. And then maybe gently rocking those hips a little from side to side. Nice smooth breaths. Good. Then bringing your chin to the ground. Bringing the hands beside your side ribs. Rooting, grounding here through the hands, inhaling, coming up onto all fours. And as we did at the start of our class, bringing toes together, knees wide. And then sinking back into Balasana, into Child's Pose. Staying on your fingertips, feeling that lift here through the palms. Nice smooth breaths. And then walking hands over to the left side of the mat, taking your right hand over left if that works for you. Otherwise, hands beside each other. Feel that lovely length once again through the sides of the body. Nice smooth flowing breath. And inhale, coming back to the center. And then we walk the hands over to the right side of the mat. If it feels good, taking your left hand over right, feeling that lovely lengthy space through both sides of the body here. Nice smooth rounds of the breath. And inhale, coming back to that central Balasana. And as we pause here, allowing yourself to just gently reflect, noticing maybe how different these sensations through the body feel right now. Having moved, breathed, twisted, or from that grounded, connected place, maybe noticing more space, hopefully around the hips. That connection through your lower belly, that freedom through the upper abdomen. And then inhaling, we come up, coming up into Vajrasana once again. Now this time, if you have the space, you're going to sit yourself between the heels, Once again, if you need to prop yourself up on your block or on a cushion or maybe even on books, okay, if you need to be a little higher, and finding that nice sense of dropping sit bones onto the support beneath you. So you don't want to be hanging here. Find you have whatever support available. Hands resting on the thighs or on the knees. Ground down through sit bones. Feel this lovely lengthening here all the way through the sides of the body. That rooting of the hips deep down into the earth. Nice smooth rounds of the breath. Now for many of you this might feel like enough, staying exactly here where you are. And for some of you it might feel good to feel that Uddiyana zone, that lower belly drawing back, tailbone tucking under, and bringing the hands behind you. So we feel the sense of tucking underneath through the tailbone here. Anything going on with the knees, you can simply straighten here through the legs, or one leg or the other. Maybe staying like this. For some of you, you might have the space to come onto your elbows. If you're on your block or cushion, rather stay a little higher on the hands. Don't come any lower. And for many of you, coming into that full Supta Virasana might feel good. So we tuck that tailbone under. Feel length through the front of the body. Laying yourself down. And then maybe you reach the hands up overhead. Hopefully this feels nice. You can always have a support here. Maybe a nice bolster if you have one beneath the spine. I'm just going to be here for 5 breaths here. So rather just finding yourself where you're at, feeling this lengthening through the fronts of the body. A lovely lengthy space here through the sides of the body as well. Nice smooth rounds of the breath, making sure you're not really arched through the spine. So we're tucking that tailbone underneath, feeling this lovely lengthening here through the fronts of the body. Good. Now, wherever you are, take a good exhale. Feel that connection through the lower belly. You're welcome to press pause at any stage if you'd like to hold this a little longer. And when you're ready, take your good exhale. Feel that connection as we inhale. You can lift the knees up a little and then coming forwards. Good. Now ground down through the knees. We bring the hands in front, coming once again onto all fours. Curl your toes underneath. Inhale, come into cow, gazing up. And then exhale, coming into cat, navel to spine. We round through the back. And inhale, coming into cow once again. And then as you exhale, coming into cat, navel to spine, lifting the knees, lifting the hips, we shift back into a nice happy dog. Walking that dog again, feeling that nice openness through the backs of the legs, that freedom through the neck, that support through your shoulders. And inhale, we're going to simply step our left foot to our right wrist, right foot to left, and coming down to sit, and then extending your legs out straight in front. Good. We come to find Dandasana, staff pose. Now sometimes you might find in staff pose that you start to feel like you're falling back. That happens. Simply grabbing your block or a cushion normally works better here. Placing that underneath the hips and then sitting yourself down, and that just creates a bit more space here through the hips. Okay. Great. So finding that nice comfortable seat here in Dandasana, we root through the sit bones. We feel this lovely lengthening through the spine. So our samastitihi on the floor. Sit bones root like the soles of our feet, feeling that lengthy space. And then making sure your legs are switched on as well. Press down through the heels, out through balls of toes. And either fingertips or palms resting here on the earth. We feel this lovely lengthening all the way through the spine. You can gaze towards your big toes or closing the eyes here. And just for a moment, tuning into that wave of your breath. A smooth, flowing wave of the breath here. Good. If the eyes are closed, gently open the eyes. And bend your knees, bring those heels a little closer towards you, rooting down through sit bones. Inhale, lengthening up through the hands, and then tilting here from the hips. We tilt forwards and take your hands around the sides of the feet, thumbs just below your big toes. Ground through heels, through sit bones. Inhale, lengthening through the side body. Now you'll feel here your lower belly supported, connected to the thighs. For many of you, it might feel nice to draw the elbows a little wider, And then maybe walking those heels a little further forwards, making sure you don't round through the back. So we keep this connection of lower belly to thighs. We keep this length through the side body, gazing towards your big toes. For some of you, you might be able to fold even a little further forwards, keeping that heart lifted and free. Maybe crown of head comes towards the front of your mat. Chin tucks a little. Maybe closing the eyes here. Inhale, feeling that sense of space. Exhale, feel this beautiful connection here of your lower belly to the spine. Nice, smooth, flowing rounds of the breath. Good. Inhale, lift in the heart, lengthening. Exhaling here. I'm going to inhale, come up. I'm going to bend our knees, bringing our feet a little wider than the hips. Ground through the feet, bring the hands behind you, fingertips facing towards you. As you exhale, and tailbone tucks under like that dragon's tail. So feeling this connection, that posterior tilt through the lower back. And then as you inhale, raising the hips up. So we come into a reverse tabletop here. Maybe the head goes back, soft gaze down the nose. And you're going to hold here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Scooping those hips back. I'm going to bring those feet out straight in front. And then pausing once again here in Dandasana, ground through the hips, lengthening through the spine. Bending your knees, bring your toes to the ground. Shifting your weight just behind your sit bones. You're going to bring the hands just behind the thighs. Maybe keeping them here, or we come into full Navasana, boat pose. We hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then slowly reaching forward through toes, reaching back through your back body. We come down to the earth. Bringing those legs up to the sky. Give your legs a really nice shake. Feel that shake coming all the way to the center of your body here. And bringing your knees nice and wide, taking the hands to outer ankles or to the outer sides of your feet. We're going to rock a little from side to side. Just feeling the space here through your hips. And then bringing your feet down to the earth, feet a little wider than the hips, grounding through the feet, hands beside you, your middle finger gently touching the backs of the heels. So if you can, your ankles are underneath those knees, really giving you support, grounding here through the feet. We press down through feet, we press down through the hands. Take your good exhale. And then as you inhale, raising the hips up towards the sky. So we come into bridge pose. You can have your hands beside you, or maybe interlacing the fingers here, grounding down through the feet, feeling this front body, reaching up towards the sky. And that rooting through the feet, that lengthening through the front body here. And we hold for 3, 2, and 1. Lower belly draws back to the spine, lengthening all the way through the spine, coming back down to the earth. When you get back down to the earth, just pausing here for a moment, feeling that grounding through the feet, grounding through the lower belly. Feel that connection and support. Take your good exhale. And then as you inhale, pressing down through the hands, through the feet. Inhale, raising the hips up. You can either stay like that in that bridge pose, or interlace the fingers, or bring in the hands beside the ears. Grounding through hands. Maybe you raise the hips up, straightening through the arms, so coming into that full Urdhva Dhanurasana. Whichever form you find yourself in, holding here, holding for at least 5 rounds of the breath. Feeling the sense of your front body lifting up towards the sky. Holding for at least another few breaths. And then slowly, whenever you're ready, coming down vertebra by vertebra. You feel the hips eventually coming back down to the earth. You're going to raise the legs up towards the sky. And then just giving your legs a really nice shake. So we feel that shake coming all the way back to the center of your body. Nice softening here through the hips. Bring the arms out to the side, so make a nice cactus shape here with the arms. And then bending your knees to a 90-degree angle, that inner line of your legs glued together, connected through the center of your body, lengthening through your side body, bringing your knees over to the right side. You don't need to go very far. In that connection at your center, we're going to hold here. Holding for 4, maybe 3, maybe circling around that right hip, a little right glute massage. 2, and 1. Inhaling, coming back to the center. Keep that length through the side body, and then gently bringing the knees over to the left side. Once again, maybe circling a little around that left glute, grounding down through the elbows, upper arms of both arms. Holding for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale back to the center, relaxing your heels towards your buttocks, fingertips on your kneecaps, and just circling around the lower back. A little sacral massage here. Finding where this feels good for you, maybe just circling or maybe figures of 8. A little lower back massage. Good, and then for a moment we're going to bring our soles of our feet together, knees nice and wide. And just pausing here for a moment, knees out to the side, soles of feet together. You can rock a little from side to side. Good, and then bringing the hands to the outside of your thighs, we draw the knees in towards each other. Now if you have a block or books, you can bring those underneath the sacrum or a cushion. Or if you don't have any of those things, just simply raising your legs up to the sky. So we come into a very simple inversion here. You can have your feet together, legs together, arms beside you, and palms facing up or down. If you have a wall nearby, and I have a wall over here, so I'm going to show you what to do. You can maybe come over to your wall, bringing the hips nice and close to the wall, and then bringing the legs up towards the sky. Arms beside you, coming to find a nice inversion here. We feel the sensation of the back of hips dropping down into the earth. Legs are elevated. And feeling that nice, soft, smooth flow of your breath. And you can hold that inversion for however long it feels good for you. And then whenever you're ready, you can draw the knees in towards you. Bringing the feet to the ground. If you have something beneath you, raising the hips up, taking that out of the way. And then we lay ourselves down to find a nice, comfortable resting space. Coming into Shavasana. And coming into Shavasana, taking a moment to arrange yourself here. So knowing this is going to be the ending of every practice. Maybe making sure you have something handy to place over the eyes. An eye cushion if you fancy, but even a towel or a small blanket can work as well. We place that over the eyes just to allow ourselves to enable that chance to drop in. Making any little movements you need to find your final resting place. Nothing to see, nothing to do, just allowing yourself to be. Making sure your heels are a little wider than the hips, so toes falling out to the side. Feeling a spreading through your hips, a spreading through the shoulders, arms at a comfortable distance beside you. Noticing over the next few breaths how your breath starts to soften. Softening to a barely perceptible state. At times as you slow down, you may notice that the mind speeds up. That's happening for you. Just simply bringing the palm of one hand to rest somewhere on the abdomen. Often around the navel works best. Maybe sometimes the other hand at the heart allows you to drop in. As we drop into that soft, gentle wave of our breath, we allow ourselves to completely let go. To feel the residue, the vibration of all of these movements, these practices settling here in the body. Just allowing yourself to be in this moment, in each breath. Gently starting to bring your awareness back. If you'd like to remain for longer in Shavasana, just pressing pause. Whenever you're ready, start to bring small movements back to your fingers, back to toes. And then stretching out through your body in whatever way makes sense for you. And eventually drawing your knees in towards the chest. Rock yourself a little from side to side. Coming to rest on one side of the body, either left or right, whichever side feels more natural for you. Pausing here. Feeling the sensation of your side body resting on the earth. And gently pressing yourself back up to sit. The last thing that comes up is the head. And coming to find a nice, comfortable seat here. And we pause here for a moment. And dropping down through sit bones, lengthening up through the spine. Hands gently resting on your knees. Eyes closed. Just tuning in, noticing the vibration that remains from all of our movements, practices, asanas today. And then gently bringing your hands to your heart, bringing fingertips, base of palms to lightly touch. As if you're holding something precious here in your heart, between the palms of the hands. May all of these practices really help to cultivate this deeper sense of understanding, of awareness, of kindness, compassion within ourselves. In turn, allowing that to ripple out into the world around us. And we're going to close by chanting Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. May we take this goodness from our practice and allow it to ripple out into the world around us. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Really allow yourself to take the goodness from these practices with you as you step out into the world. And we have loads of different practices on our YouTube channel, so don't forget to subscribe and take this beautiful essence of Samahita into your own home. And hopefully we see you here again with us sometime soon.